for More has had its third edition public conference in Accra at the Accra Technical University ATU Auditorium. The conference, that was entitled Dare to Dream, brought together different experienced career professionals who were guest speakers to empower young entrepreneurs, business holders and graduating students the right practices to adopt for self-development, career improvement, and become sustainable in the current technology market so as not to become still in their career life cycle. Ignatius Ewatano Blake has the rest of the reports for IG Tech Media Network.
Made for More is a public speaking group that focuses on organizing conferences to educate youths and adults on self-awareness, image branding, career counseling, capacity building, among others. As part of their objectives, Made for More seeks to improve the living conditions of young people to live their lives to the fullest by exploring their full potentials, not giving room to hindrances and setbacks. Her Excellency Fidelia Grand Gallon, Suriname Ambassador to Ghana, who was the main speaker at the conference, shared a word of advice with the youth of Africa.
Dare to dream. I loved it, and I'm privileged to be here. And on behalf of the people, the president, the vice president, the rulers of the country of Suriname, greetings to the world. Suriname, you can see, as a small united nation because we have all the continents represented in Suriname. So to the youth, I want to say, dare to dream. When you have a dream, don't just go out and talk about it, tell everyone I have a dream. You might lose it. When you have a dream, work towards your dream and make it happen. And then the world will know. And you can now tell the world, this was my dream. And then you achieve it better. Because the inward strength is better than the strength that will come from others, and the struggles and the challenges you might get might be bigger than the inward one and the small group that is with you. But when the small group only, you and you alone, and maybe your parents or closest friend, don't say too much. When you have a dream, work it out and do it, and you will achieve it.
Dr. Solomon Abebiu Ajiman, one of the guest speakers, said the African education curriculum should improve from theory to practical.
So practically, Africa is crying because there's a lot of hidden potentials, a lot of untapped potentials, and a lot of retrogressions that are not supposed to be. Based on that, we, the youth, and the leaders, current leaders, have to find a way of pushing this out. And by so doing, I think, number one, our curriculum is even wrong. What we have been taught in school is wrong. Currently, Harvard School of Business is teaching things like coding, things like blockchain, things like metaverse, NFTs, but we are still learning stuff like types of animals and animal stomach. And this is not what Mother Africa was meant, because in the days of the Mansa Musa, they were ruling the world, they were determining the world economy. But now we are rather going out to import the world, economy here. We're supposed not to be, supposed to be from Africa to the world, not from the world to Africa. Currently in Ghana, we know that the Chinese government and the Ghanaian government have come to a deal where they are going to tap into our natural resources. It's not supposed to be. In the days of Mansa Musa, from when he was going to on his exile, his pilgrimage journey to Mecca, he had so much gold that he was just sharing and gifting gold on the way, to the extent that in that period for 10 years, gold was very, very cheap. You understand? So yes, indeed, Mother Africa is crying, and this cry is not just for us to wake up, but for you and me to also take responsibilities.
For Ibrahim Asante, founder of Significant International Training Systems, says told the youth to learn volunteerism and expect nothing in return.
Volunteerism, selfless, dedicated, passionate action towards a good cause without expecting anything. And this is what we're talking about. Giving to society without expecting. And guess what? Today, the youth, they do have this microwave mentality of we want it now, instead of the crockpot mentality where we can cook it well. We cannot, and I repeat it, we cannot have a chicken soup without a chicken dying. Neither can we have a fish stew without a fish dying. No pain, no gain. It is time for us to learn before we earn. And through learning, volunteerism is one of the selfless things we can do, but to learn and at the same time give back to society. And that is what drives some of us to come back again to the Made for More conference, to give back to society, to the youth, our experiences, our decades of experiences, so that you become better than us and not repeat the mistakes that we have done, and that we have a better world that we, along with the coming youth, create for the next generation.
Please, your final words to the youth of Africa and to the world at large.
If you do easy things, you will survive. Do what anybody does, you survive. If you do difficult things, ladies and gentlemen, you will be stable. If you do the impossible, you'll be successful. But when you dare to do the beyond imagination things, that is when you become significant. When you move from mastery to artistry, when you move from success to significance, when you move from selfishness to selflessness, that is when we make an impact and leave a legacy. It is not about us. Remember, if we're not to die, I'll say don't give, don't volunteer. But since one day we will not be here, the best legacy is to give to society without expecting. And humanity will be there, and posterity to sing your praises if that is what will make you happy. But it is our time. Let's do our best with every resource, our mind, our energy, our time, the little money we may have, to give back to Mother Earth so that the next generation becomes better than us.
Emmanuel Afagbaji, who is the founder and chief executive officer of Made for More, explained his motive for such conferences.
Okay, my motivation actually is all about empowering people. What actually keeps me on my toes is that after every conference, people enter my DM and say, Emmanuel, thank you, you did this, thank you, you did that, and all of that. That is where I find the joy. It gives me joy. So anytime I get those messages, I'm pushed to do more. Yeah, because I feel like I've impacted a life. I've changed a life, because look at the number of people who attend the conferences. So if each and every one of them is able to have a renewal of mind, it means that in our little way we are trying to help humanity. In our little way we are trying to change the society, and that is what motivates me, putting smiles on people's faces.
Emmanuel also added that Made for More has come to stay and will continue with such conferences to educate the youths with the ambition to do more.
Made for More conference has come to stay, and we are even aiming bigger and better. Next year, if God wills and we are alive, we are even going to do what's even bigger and better. We've learned our mistakes, we've learned our successes. We are going to go back to our vision board, plan, replan, and deliver. So it has come to stay.
Ignatius Awatanoble reporting for Agitech Media Network, Accra.